Hello everyone, welcome to Rubber Industry News Hour. Sawadee Namaste. Welcome to this weekly program for rubber industry. We are on the episode number 15 and today's date is 25th April. I welcome you all for this episode on the Rubber Industry News Hour. Before we get into the more details about what is planned for this episode number 15, I'd like to show a short presentation on the Rubber Industry News Hour. What is all about Rubber Industry News Hour? Let's have a look at the short presentation. Okay, that's about the Rubber Industry News Hour. What is all about? Every episode we take one or two components and we address them. If you miss any of our past episode, if you have not joined our live sessions on the past episode, you can always check on our YouTube channel on the Technobase, and you can find all the details that you need. As you know, this program, Rubber Industry News Hour, is owned and managed by Technobase. For the benefit of all the audience, I'd like to introduce about more details about Technobase. Some of you may know about Technobase already. Some of you know a little bit. Some of you don't know at all. So for the sake of everyone, let me show you a short presentation on the Technobase and its services for the rubber industry. Okay, that's about the Technobiz. I'm hoping that you have a better understanding now about Technobiz and its services for the rubber industry. As I mentioned, we are a provider of the global services for the rubber industry based in Thailand. Okay, let's get into today's episode, the episode number 15, and I'll give you some highlights of what is included in this episode. The first, we're going to have a market review focusing on natural rubber market review by Mr. John Jacob, a rubber industry analyst. After that, we have a panel discussion focusing on the innovative natural rubber products development in Thailand by Startup Acceleration. This is a very unique program. It's happening in Thailand. So we have three guests from Thailand. We'll be discussing about this project and its successes and experiences. So these are the two main components of today's episode. And you can always check our Technobiz channel on YouTube for if you're missing our old episodes or today's episode also, you can check it out on our YouTube channel. Okay, let's get to the today's session, the rubber industry market review. In this session, we have Mr. John Jacob. He's a rubber industry analyst. He'll be talking about the natural rubber market review. Let me brief you about Mr. John Jacob. He has more than 30 years experience with experience on analyzing the rubber markets, forecasting industry trends, and formulating long-term policies and development plans for the natural rubber sector. He served the Association of Natural Rubber Producing Countries, ANRPC, based in Kuala Lumpur, as its senior economist for 11 years. Before that, he worked with the Rubber Board of India by holding various positions for 23 years. So, John Jacob is an independent analyst for the natural rubber industry. Mr. John?
Hi all, welcome to Natural Rubber Market Review. First of all, we will review the performance of the prices in the three major futures markets in Asia. We will go straight away. We go to Shanghai futures market performance during the last week. We have 6 charts here. Chart number 1 is it shows the prices, daily settlement prices of Shanghai rubber futures from 6 April until 22nd of April, 6 to 22nd April. So the last week is shown towards the end of the graph. So in fact, we can see that the graph is falling down in a substantially higher level. It is falling down at a higher rate. So during the week ended 22nd of April, that means the last week, prices averaged 13,358 yuan, which is 0.8% lower compared to a week before. That means last week, Shanghai rubber futures averaged 0.8% lower compared to a week before. This is what happened in the Shanghai market. And coming to a Psycho market, TSR20 Psycho market, chart number 2. Psycho TSR20 futures, in a similar way, what we have seen in Shanghai market, we can see a reflection of the same here also. The last week is shown as the last part of the graph. So the prices are steeply coming down. So during the week ended 22 April, that means in the last week, Psycho TSR20 prices average $171.1, which is 0.8% lower compared to a week before. Then we have a third chart number 3, which is showing the RSS3 futures traded on the Osaka exchange. Here also prices averaged 0.8% lower during the last week compared to a week before. Now we have a chart. So this is a summary of the three futures market. With these three futures trends in background, we will go into physical prices. Chart number 4 is comparing the prices of TSR20 at Bangkok and Kuala Lumpur, STR20 at FOB Bangkok and SMR20 at FOB Kuala Lumpur. So coming to Bangkok market, prices average $172.1 per 100 kilogram, which is lower 0.8% compared to a week before. Similarly, in Kuala Lumpur, prices average almost same, that is 172.2. I mean, same as Bangkok market, almost same. Almost prices both in Bangkok and Kuala Lumpur were remained almost same, and that is lower 0.7% compared to a week before. That means we can say that in the Shanghai market, Saiko market, and Osaka market, as well as in the physical prices of TSR at the Bangkok and Kuala Lumpur, prices averaged during last week 0.8% compared to a week before. Not only that, prices averaged at the same level both at Bangkok and at Kuala Lumpur. Now we will go to chart number 5, which is showing the performance of RSS prices, RSS markets at FOB Bangkok and RSS market at Kottayam local markets. In fact, during the last week, Bangkok prices averaged $231.8 per 100 kilogram, which is 2.3% lower compared to a week before. That means compared to TSR or technically specified rubber, RSS prices have undergone a major downward fall in the case of Bangkok, and also in Kottayam market prices average $222.5 per 100 kilogram. That means the Kottayam market average lower than the average price prevailed in Bangkok. And in fact, Kottayam market average during last week was 1.3% lower compared to a week before. So now we will go to the last chart, chart number 6. Chart number 6 is showing the latest prices. We have two important markets for latest. One is Bangkok and the other is Kuala Lumpur. At Bangkok markets, latest prices average $149.7 per 100 kilogram, which is 6.7% lower compared to a week before. That means last week, Bangkok latest market has undergone a major downward change by falling 6.7% in a week compared to 1 week before. But in Kuala Lumpur markets, the prices average $157.9 per 100 kilogram, which is 2.6% lower compared to a week before. So what we are observing here is that nearly 70% of the global production of natural rubber global trade in natural rubber is in the form of TSR, and latex and RSS constitutes the balance 30% only. But in the major the dominant grade, which is TSR, the price fall was only 0.8%. But in the case of RSS and in the case of latex, prices have undergone major downward change. So this is a summary of the performance of the market during last week. So this is what happened last week. But more important is what is expected in the short term. So I have a few points to share regarding what can happen in the short term. So first of all, coming to the short term supply, global supply of natural rubber is set to increase in the short term because farmers in major producing countries are expected to resume tapping following the end of the wintering off season of supply. So in fact, a section of farmers has reopened the rubber holdings for harvesting, and market arrivals have already started improving. This is what happened in the case of Thailand RSS market. RSS arrival in the market, how there is an increase has been reported, and that is getting reflected in the RSS price also. So that means, but at the same time, we have to consider that in the Muslim-dominated southern part of Thailand, and also Muslim-dominated countries like Indonesia and Malaysia, farmers are expected to resume tapping in the first week of May. That means this first week of May. That means only after the end of the fasting month. So because of the Muslim fasting at the moment, they will not be resuming tapping at the moment. So they are waiting for the fasting month to end. So anyway, market expects that the supply is going to improve because of the seasonal factor. So supply season is imminently coming soon. So market has such a factor will be impacting on the market sentiment in the short term. Now coming to the demand side, demand outlook, at least 6 factors are likely to dominate, likely to influence the global demand for natural rubber. First factor, the Russia-Ukraine war or conflict and the massive sanctions announced on Russia have worsened the chaos in the global supply chain logistics, and also it has also aggravated the problems in the global trade, and also it is delaying the what is called a shipping. It is causing shipping delay. So this is the global supply chain issues arising from the Russia-Ukraine conflict is impacting on the manufacturing activities world over. So this will have a negative bearing on the global demand for natural rubber. Now, second point, Russia and Ukraine are major suppliers of key metals which are used in the manufacturing of chip semiconductors and also in the batteries of electric vehicles, EV batteries. The continuing war and the massive economic sanctions have aggravated the chaos in the chip semiconductor manufacturing industry, and the war has reportedly put a brake on the global electrical vehicle evolution, or we can say EV revolution. So the war is having a major impact on the semiconductor industry, chip semiconductor industry, which is an important component of the auto sector, and also it is having a negative bearing on the global EV revolution. So these developments have a direct bearing on the global demand for natural rubber, because auto sector is the dominant end user of natural rubber. So this is another factor having a negative bearing on the global demand for natural rubber. Third factor, last week, specifically on April 19, IMF scaled down its world economic outlook for 2022 and 2023. This happened on 19th of April. IMF scaled down the outlook for 2022 to 3.6%, 2022 growth, global growth to 3.6% from the 4.4% growth it anticipated just 3 months ago. So in 3 months ago, IMF anticipated growth in 2022 was 4.4%. Right now, it has been scaled down to 3.6%. Similarly, outlook for 2023 also scaled down. That means these revisions imply that the world economy is expected to grow markedly slower in 2022 than what was anticipated 3 months ago. So rubber demand is directly related to the economic growth. If the global growth is slowing down, that means global demand for natural rubber also will be slowing down. This is a negative news to the market. Then another factor impacting on the global demand for natural rubber is the lockdown in Shanghai. Shanghai city and several other parts of China has been put under a 2-tier lockdown following a new COVID outbreak starting from the end of March. the zero COVID policy being followed by China, and the stringent lockdown imposed in the country's commercial capital, Shanghai, are damaging the manufacturing and businesses activities in China. So these developments in China are crucial for the global demand for NR, because China represents nearly 43% of the global demand for natural rubber. So whatever development happening in China, manufacturing sector development in the manufacturing, China manufacturing is crucial for the global demand for natural rubber. We have another point coming to the next point, demand impacting on the global demand for natural rubber. So right now we have mentioned that China's manufacturing and economy is slowing down because of the zero COVID policy adopted by the government, and also massive lockdown, large scale lockdown. Now, another dimension of the same issue is that the slowing manufacturing in China has implications for the manufacturing activities in other Asian countries. So if China's manufacturing is slowing down, manufacturing in some of the other Asian countries also will come down, because for example, Malaysia, Vietnam and Taiwan, they are the three major countries which are heavily depending on China for marketing or for selling their components and parts. So if manufacturing activities are slowing down in China, so these countries, so manufacturing industries in the component and parts industries in these countries will not be able to find the market for their various components and parts. Then the 6 points impacting on the global demand for natural rubber is the for manufacturing. We have to consider that manufacturing activities world over are impacted by overheated inflation. Inflation is overheated. At the moment, inflation in some of the countries is actually a 4-decade high, highest in the 4th decade. So overheated inflation and the soaring raw material prices, escalating shipping costs, and the growing volatility and uncertainties. So manufacturing world over is impacted by these factors. So we have at least 6 factors having negative bearing on the global demand for natural rubber. So we are expecting global demand slowing down. Sorry. So at the moment, earlier we have seen supply going to improve in the short term, and now we have seen that demand is going to be scaled down because of the 6 factors we have listed here. Now, coming to non-fundamental factors other than supply and demand, what are the non-fundamental? What are the role of the non-fundamental factors in the short term? So players in speculative markets widely believe that the US Federal Reserve will go for an aggressive interest rate hike in the forthcoming meeting of the FOMC, Federal Open Market Committee. So prospects of such an aggressive means some of the Federal Reserve officials sounded that it may even go for usually Federal Reserve raises interest rate by 0.25 percentage point only. But some of the Federal Reserve officials sounded the possibility of Federal going for even 0.75 percentage point increase in the interest rate. So there is a high possibility of Federal going for an aggressive interest rate hike. So higher interest rate means dollar is going to be stronger. So that means prospects of an aggressive rate hike and the resultant strong dollar are keeping, because of these factors, speculative investors are keeping away from riskier assets. Riskier assets include rubber futures as well. So this is what is happening in the non-fundamental side. So we have examined what can happen in the short term on the supply, global supply. We have examined what can happen in the global demand in the short term, and we have also mention what can happen in the non-fundamental, especially speculative activity, what can happen. Speculative traders are keeping away from riskier assets because they are expecting a higher aggressive policy rate hike by US Federal Reserve and resultant higher certain strengthening of the dollar. So to summarize, both the supply demand fundamental and non-fundamental factors will remain unfavorable for natural rubber markets in the short term. So in fact, the market is for a recovery from the current scene. The market is just waiting for a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine, because one of the major problem is due to the Russia-Ukraine war, and another factor is the lockdown in China. So the market is expecting market can recover only if there's some kind of a ceasefire between the two countries, and also only if China is lifting its lockdown. So this is what can happen. So that means I am bearish for the rubber market in the short term because of the improving supply, because of the slowing demands, and also less speculative activity. So this is a summary of the market last week as well as what can happen in the short term. Thank you very much. See you next week at the same time. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's a report on the natural rubber market review by Mr. Jom Jacob. I'd like to introduce about his master class, who is very interested about economics of natural rubber. He's offering an online training program. It's a training workshop on the 15th June. It starts at 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Thailand. If you're interested in the natural rubber economics and the markets, this is a program to join. So you can check the details at the knowhow-webinars.com. And also this week we have a NR dialogue. And this is a program in the Technobase with cooperation with Mr. Jom Jacob. We're developing this monthly program on NR dialogue, which is basically addressing discussing about the natural rubber issues. We have a theme of sustainable natural rubber, a road ahead. And we have invited a guest, Mr. Stefano Savi, Director of the Global Platform for Sustainable Natural Rubber. This is going to happen on the 28th April. If you have not registered, please do register. We're discussing about the sustainable natural rubber. Let me introduce our upcoming rubber industry events. In this one, I'd like to introduce about upcoming event in the IRC 2022. It's in India, 24 to 26 November. Let's have a look at the short presentation on the IRC 2022 India. that's a presentation on the IRC 2022 in India, organized by the Indian Rubber Institute. I welcome you all to participate in this IRC 2022. I'll give you a quick intro to our rubber technology online training program by Technobase. You can check all the details at our website knowhow-webinars.com. We have well-experienced and knowledgeable experts from across the world as a resource persons. They've been offering these online training programs through the Know-How Webinar project by Technobase. We have a very broad range of subjects. Okay, we have type 1, we have a 30-minute talks to the 3-hour-long subject. More than 250 topics are there. And we have a type 2, which is a master class. We have developed 20+ master classes, and we also have 3-month diploma program as well. So please do check out for more information at the knowhow-webinars.com. Okay, we are into the last part of this program today episode, and also the very important session of the rubber industry panel discussion. In this panel discussion, we're going to address a topic on innovative natural rubber products development in Thailand by startup acceleration. This is a very unique project, as I was mentioning in the introduction. As you know, Thailand is the largest producer of natural rubber, and we have a great team of people who are offering various innovative products, and I'm pleased to have this panel discussion today. And I will introduce our first panelist, Mr. Nakhon Thangavirapat. He's a governor of the Rubber Authority of Thailand. Rubber Authority of Thailand is the highest body of the rubber industry in Thailand, even for the farmers to the final finished products. And we're pleasure to have Mr. Nakhon, who is heading as a governor of the Rubber Authority of Thailand. And we also have Mr. Nakhon. Please welcome, join. And I invite next. Thank you, sir. I invite our next panelist, Dr. Ek Vipu Kalkon Suraprani. He is actually associate professor at the Prince of Songkhla University. Is one of the prestigious university in Thailand. And they also have a division called Natural Rubber Innovation Research Institute. He's a currently director for this Natural Rubber Innovation Research Institute. Dr. Ek Vipu is well-recognized, well-experienced researcher in Thailand, rubber researchers, and also he actually actively involved with industry to develop a product. So he's basically, not just academic per se, but also actively involved in industry. What are the requirements, and he develops products and research topics, for the benefit of the Thailand rubber industry. And we have a third panelist, Mr. Nathavi Wokaev, is an young entrepreneur. He developed new products through this startup acceleration program, and we'll be discussing about his new venture of GFIN Rubber Tech. Pleasure to have a young entrepreneur. I think he's early 20s and already started a company. And this is a great news for the rubber industry when you have young people coming into the being an entrepreneur and investing in the rubber industry. So I welcome you all for this in the panel discussion on the innovative natural rubber products development in Thailand by startup acceleration. Let's me open all the. Okay. Dr. Vekubu, you can also open our speaker as well. Okay. First of all, thank you very much. I'm really excited to have this panel discussion on the innovative natural rubber products development in Thailand. As we know, we are the largest, because I live in Thailand, so I'm very proud to host this panel discussion today. Yeah. So let's get started. Mr. Nakhon, You are the senior most and also the highest body of the rubber industry in Thailand as a governor. It's a pleasure to have you in the program. Yeah. And let's get to talk. The first point of discussion is the what is going on in the Thailand rubber industry. What is situation, and what is the growth in Thailand rubber industry, please. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I think that what you said that Thailand is have a large producer countries of the rubber in the world. In year 2021, maybe I think we produce around for 82 million ton of the natural rubber, and we are export around for 4.13 million ton. It's from the export number. The product is come from the strong demand from the downstream, such as the concentrate latex for the glove. I think everyone know. And for the export, the main product, the main imported country like China, they have the double volume in this year. One of them just can come from the start of the production from the last year, and I think they have the lack of the stock from today. So that's why I think the number of export from Thailand, maybe we have the growth very much in today, and I think it's a very good opportunity for Thailand in this situation. So I want to say that in COVID-19 pandemic, I think it have some chance in this situation also.
Thank you. Yes, we have good days ahead for the Thailand rubber industry. So can you talk about, you are the head of the Rubber Authority of Thailand, and so what is the role and what kind of support you provide for the rubber industry overall in Thailand? Yeah.
Yes, because I'm just come from. Actually, we can say that I come from the government sector because we are state enterprise. So IoT or Rubber Authority of Thailand, we have a duty to support all of the supply chain in Thailand or in the rubber industry. Like I think we were driving them by technology and production. Like for the upstream, I think for the upstream we have all of the supplier smallholder, we are just registered with me. So I think we are control all the supply, and now I think we are focused on the sustainable plantation, which is a trend of the years and today, and we are at the standard of the farm. I thought everyone know the standard of the farm, like for the FSC or PFC or something, they have to make more competitiveness for advantage for our countries, because I think it's a time for the sustainable farm.
Yeah.
I think it's very good point for the upstream, but for the midstream, I think we spend for all the technology for them for reduce the cost and have a good production. I think we are support for the midstream, but for the downstream is very and focused from now. We involve the production of the rubber within the value added. I think the technology and innovation can do that. So that's why I have to take care of them. In Thailand, we have the fund. We have the fund for support all of them. So I think our job is not take care just only the smallholder. I will take care of the supply chain.
Yeah. Fantastic. That's your role is very important, and also your role is very challenging to balance small holders as well as the industries. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I, yeah, I hope you are having a good sleep nowadays. Okay. Yeah. Okay. As RAOT, let's call it, for the benefit of all the people. RAOT stands for Rubber Authority of Thailand.
For
You have us, yeah, and you supported this project, the Natural Rubber Startup Acceleration Program, which is initiated by the
Mhm.
Prince of Sankla University under the leadership of Dr. Ek Vipu. What is your vision? What do you expect from them?
Okay. First of all, I think today the innovation is come from the two way.
Yeah.
One is it make the some is made the same one. We are called the globalization. For and we do the new thing. We are called the innovations. The good question is, I think, which one is more important about if compare about the globalization or the innovation? Some of people they just said to me, they think the future of the world they will driven by the globalization, but I don't think so. I think the technology is more very useful more than that. So that's why I think new technology trends is must come from not much. They most of them they have come from the startup. They come from the small group of the people who have the idea. But the problem of the startup is they got an idea, they got a good idea, but I think they don't have the chance or they don't have the something. They don't have the people who give them a chance. And the other thing, they maybe they some face a problem with the seed money or the interview. So I think it's that what I said before that the IoT will take care of the stakeholder that was include with the startup or the new coming. So that's why I think the startup is very useful and very have to we have to I mean it's my job or to do that for far the way to have the chance for them.
Yeah, it's a really excellent program. I really lot of everybody talking about startup, but accelerating it. That is already is innovativeness. You helping, as you mentioned about the seed money or resources by combining working with universities like Prince of Sankla University. You not only helping guiding them to develop a product technically good, at the same time helping to market it. I think hats off to RAOT to support in this project. I think this is the best model for the whole world, supporting startups and at the same time accelerating the whole process and by working with the university. What is your feeling, Dr. Ekvipu? How was your feeling towards RAOT?
Yeah, it's really good that IoT support this program because as you know that innovation could not occur if you uh, let it be, what to say, but must be accelerated. And one of key important thing is the people who will run the innovative to be something commercialization. If you're talking about big company, they are thinking about only profit. They do not want to invest something new. Like if Dr. Nakon say that if we talk about the future, of course, smart material is coming, but nobody want to invest because it's something. It's an only idea. It is only paper, but who will make it? Startup will make it. And after we make a prototype, that is the real world that the big company will interest on it.
Yeah.
This is very important. It must be started by someone.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think again a big thanks to Kun Nakon and his leadership supporting this project, with with the university. Kun Nakon, one more point I want to talk to you before I go into the others panelists. Under your leadership, or you may see what kind of challenges that the Thailand rubber industry is experiencing it, particularly in developing innovative products. Of course, we are always the largest producer of natural rubber, okay, and we still maybe using not enough natural rubber, but what do you think about the challenges we are experiencing in Thailand?
Thank you. I don't think it's a challenge. I think for the rubber situation right now, I think it's an opportunity for us for the rubber market.
Okay.
The world has changed very well. I think maybe it has come from the fourth major or something. I have to think. First is that the technology progress every day. It's a change very quick. So the disruptive technology and innovation, they significant alert the way of the consumer or industrial or business operations. I think the very quick or the short time of technology is one of the things. The second one is the issue on the aging population.
Yeah.
I think whole of the world we face all the same problem in aging population. But in the aging population, we face a problem like for the labor problem, for the working problem. But for the rubber, we also met the golden opportunity in the health education or health industry. And the third thing that all we know, we have the effect after COVID-19 pandemic. We have to generate the high demand for the medical industry in rubber, such as like for the glove or for anything, for the mask or the something, and especially in the rubber, from the research, we have the position that we are very suitable for the health or for the health industrial health issue for the medical industry. So that's why I think they also have a chance for the rubber also. And the last thing is a climate change. Now it's a big issue for the world. Climate is I think it's have a big issue with the plantation or with the agriculture, because right now you can see, if you can see from the right now, now is from Thailand. Actually, from Thailand, in this month, the production is very less. But today, the raining is coming. So who knows? That's why the hot season, they have the rain, they have the flooding in the southern parts of the Thailand. So we still got a production. So I just want to say that now climate is changed. We have the impact with the production, but who can do it? What we can do it from now? I think we have to think about it. But the other thing is about the carbon credit. I think it's also very big issue for the agriculture country. Thailand is an agriculture country, and you know one thing, the rubber is very best for the carbon credit offset. Yes. And for the industrial, they're concerned about the environment. So I think it's very good chance for the rubber industry right now. That's what I said.
Thank you. I think I take back my point. Not a challenge, is like an opportunity. Yeah, it is not a challenge. It is a great opportunity. Yeah, so fantastic. Thank you, Kun Nakon. Now I move to the Dr. Ekvipu. You are associate professor at Prince of Songkhla University, which is located in the southern part of Thailand, and which is, as you know, everybody knows that natural rubber a lot of natural rubber actually in southern part of Thailand. Can you talk about the role of Prince of Songkhla University in for the natural rubber industry development?
Okay. As you mentioned earlier, that Prince of Songkhla University located in the southern of Thailand, and we do this thing for over 30 years already. Yes, of course, in university we do only three main things. The first one is education, that you can learn about rubber technology by degree or whatever that we serve a manpower into rubber industry. This is very reputation in many factory in Thailand that they ask to get the bachelor student or master student into the company. And also PhD from Prince of Songkhla University, you can see now if you see the alumni of PSU students, they go worldwide now in rubber technology. Even one of our students is the lecturer in University of Twente, Netherlands, or even lecturer in Thailand, mainly in rubber technology, graduate from Prince of Songkhla University. So we give a manpower not only the factory but also in the education program as well. The second role of university is research and innovation. We are preparing, knowledge, a new knowledge for the future. If you talk about research and innovation, university got many complaints from people. It's like making some knowledge on shelf. So this is very nice to listen the view of Kunnakorn, that we can see the signal that he gave last moment, that, for example, post-COVID, what we are going to do, aging society, what we are going to do, technology disruption, or even environmental issue. For example, if we talk about the COVID-19, if we do not have knowledge about gloves, what happened? Or even if we talk about the aging society, people need softening. Aging society will be like, as you has listened some lecture about motion sensor or smart material, it will be important. Or medical application, very important. Or even technology disruption. We're talking about car, consume a lot of rubber. If the car change to be drone for transportation, what happened? Or I don't know. I would like to say that the knowledge from research, we have like a knowledge bank in our university, that you can see many publication, international publication, that do something very new. It's very important that we have to pick up some knowledge, make it true, make it commercialization, and startup is, I think, one opportunity to make something idea to be something commercialization. This is very important to make it further. The third role is the academic service. As you know that the industrial work, they has routine problem. They ask always the way to reduce the cost or how to get high productivity. So the people from academic can go to the factory and give some advice or coaching. So this three main role of the Prince of Songkhla University that we have been doing for maybe 30 years, more over 30 years. Yes.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Ekavipui. As I personally know, Prince of Songkla is one of the prestigious in for the rubber industry, particularly in supporting research and technical consulting for, and also as you mentioned that your faculty is also doing programs in Netherlands in University of Twente, so great reputation for the Prince of Songkla University. So let's move to the other point I would like to discuss with you. This main component of this today's panel discussion is the natural rubber startup acceleration programs by you with support from the RAOT. Can you talk about what are the main components? What are the key issues about this program?
The key issue is to make idea to be something real. It's like many people say, yes, rubber can do this, can do this, can do this. Why don't you do this, do this, do this? The question is why nobody do it? Because no acceleration program. Because if they want to do, they need to invest. Because sometimes they do it and they fail and they terminate, right? So if we talk about startup program, many people might say, yes, startup fail more than success. Of course, it must be fail because this is the concept. Fail fast, fail often, and fail cheap. This is very important. Sometimes some people say if we talk about startups, the success rate is only 2%, but 2% is very important. We are going to make a new area of using natural rubber in some area that has never applied before. This is very important, and I think this is one of role of RAOT that Nakon gave our opportunity to bring the knowledge to be something real. So that is the reason why we do this program. We have a bank of knowledge, and we need support. The support it should be not only sitting fund, but also the soft knowledge. I mean, the course, coaching, and so on and so on. Because when you want to make something, it's not only one thing. You have to know many things like business, technology, design, everything. So in this program, the people who come into the startup program, they will get the tailor-made. It's like if you are a technologist, but you have never experienced with the business or marketing, you can ask coach of marketing or business. Or even you have an idea, you have never done anything before about rubber, you can ask rubber technologists to make it real, to make it prototype. So we have a program for over a year. Can you show the slide? Why startup? Do you hear me?
Yes, go on. Yeah.
Okay. Can you show the picture of the tree? I think connection is a little bit delayed. Okay. This picture, I just want to show you why startup very important. If we talk about technology, if you go to see the left hand side, it's kind of a big tree. If you provide this technology to a holding company, technology runs so fast. Holding company need to submit the document to the board and everything. Before implement, you need long time. I don't know what to say. Many steps, and they do not interest the technology that cannot touch. The board will say, hey, it's something, it might not make a benefit, right? Then go to SME. The problem of SME is they are settled, they are settled. They like to do something the same. If they do something out of the box, they must invest more. The question is the same or go out of the box. Of course, SME say, we do not have much financial support. Therefore, we stand in the same area. So nobody want to get rich, But for startup like Natavi, he likes Jack Beanstalk, no barrier, no anything. He is CEO. He can do anything. If he fail fast. Fail fast. I mean, very young. He can fail often, and he learn. I think if he fail 1 or 3 times, the third time or the fourth time or the fifth time, he will success. But he learned from the step. So the startup will grow up very, very quick. This is the reason why we do startup program. Let's go to the next slide. About research. If we talk about university research and many people compare researcher, you can see on the x-axis is market and on the left hand side y-axis is technology or product. Okay, can you go to the next slide? What university people do? They do research without searching any market, or they even don't know what is the product of that. They just know only that is new, that is wow, that is high tech. But what? They go to publish the papers or publish to international knowledge or whatever for everybody. So let's go to business today. Please go to the next slide. Business today say, hey, what are you doing? This is too risky. I do not want to invest. I do not understand what are you doing. So what business today do? Let's go to the next slide. They do the same. They stay in the same area, make the same product in the same market, what they has experienced, and they earn only small amount of benefit, but they're happy about that. Okay, this is maybe good for the business because it's pretty settled, but it's not good for our country because we need, live up the technology. So startup, what is the solution of this? Startup will be the solution. So we will shift the business today to the new area. We will find a new area. You can see the yellow area. Startup will be there. They will pick up some knowledge of the university and to find a new market, or the university knowledge to a new product that has never done before, or the result from research, they will get some unfair advantages that they can kind of advertise is better than before, what else. Not only talking, but they confirm by scientific proof. Startup is very important, in my opinion. Many people say, yes, startup very important, but success rate is very, very small amount. Of course, if we search for the statistics about the success rate and time, we can see if you are doing new business about food, it takes 3 years. About material, rubber is also material, but difficult, more difficult, 5 years. If you talk about startup about medical application, it takes 10 years. So let's see the next slide. Let's go to the valley of death. Yes, this is the important thing that we have to lift up the startup from the valley of death, because at the beginning they do not have any any investment, because it's just idea. But the idea has never, it's difficult to sell because it's new thing. Only a few people want to buy that. So they have to do some market research or even technology research or whatever, some activities. This called valley of death of startup, and many startups terminate in this time period. Therefore, startup program is very important to lift up why we accelerate them, because we need to accelerate them before they terminate. We need to lift them up immediately, or they go into the valley of death very short time. So this is the timeline that every startup will face with, and why we need to incubate them, because we want to lift them up very quick. This is the reason why we do this program. Go to the next. Yes, if we talk about technology, many people say, hey, you have startup already. Why the technology does not launch into the market? You can see the journey. You see the journey. The first one, they have an idea. They get in the program. Then they if they good luck, they got financial support, and then they make it. Then they have to do research. Not only do research, development, and get feedback. This is 3 steps: research, development, and get feedback. It will make loop of 3, 4, 5 many times. I mentioned earlier, fail fast, fail often, fail cheap. If the feedback does not okay, it's like get back to the first idea again, Then they have to understand about intellectual properties. They have to make prototype, and they will go again in valley of death at number 8. Number 8 is scaling up, that we face with now. They do not have a lot of money. If the market fit already, but they do not have money enough, or they I don't know, the technology cannot scale up, they will dead. So acceleration program is very important to lift them up from number 8. Not only that, after they get the place like scaling up already, or they can scaling up success, the next they have to do a standard, because if they want to sell like government or some, I don't know, many people ask for standard. This is money again, testing, so on, and then commercialization. You can see how startup must be fight, and why this program is very important. See the dot. What we are going to do, startup will terminate at number 8. How do we help them? We need to find investor or angel like Kunakon to meet them at the cut point before they terminate. You get some angel fund or investment, and then work it together. Commercialization will happen. This is the reason why in this program we have a kind of committee at the end of the program. We need the people who familiar with that business to be a committee to see how possible of the program or product or technology to be invest. You know, at the end of the program, we will have a kind of competition of pitching or and so on and so on, and we will bring businessman as the committee, and if they have a view of or opportunity that might be invest immediately or something like that. Okay, I think this is the second question, but it takes a lot of time.
Well, it's so nice to, you rightly mentioned, you hit the important points about the startup and what are the requirements, to be successful. You mentioned clearly that, success rate is very low, but you need that success rate, even if it is small. It has acceleration really helps, to move forward. Dr. Ekavipu, actually this project is in second phase. Okay, you may call it a batch. I call it a phase. You have done excellently on the phase one. And can you talk about your experience with the phase one?
Okay, can you go? Can you please go to the next slide? Yes, from batch one, even people say success rate is very low, but our batch one was very success. We can lift up from the idea to be product by 3 companies. However, in batch one, we have a big problem because we has never experienced to do this program before. We make this kind of, one program for everyone, one for all. The problem is some people come up with idea, some people come up with prototype, some people come up with, I don't know, different level. The problem is it's pretty difficult to incubate them because the cost and supporting thing we have to decide with different way. Therefore, in batch 2, we divide the program by 4 because we know already that everyone come up with different background. Therefore, the batch 2 will be better. However, we will not throw up, what to say, we will not leave the people in batch 1 out. We continuously make it happen. We lift up, it's like if you have an idea, we lift up from idea to be prototype. As I mentioned earlier, successfully time need to be incubated. Therefore, we must make a step for them. Not only, okay, your idea is not that good, terminate. But if your idea is not that good, but you can make prototype and market fit, then you can come back with batch 2. Okay, we support you to go to the market. Or even the people come up with the product already in batch 1, and they will say, how? What next? Okay, we have choice. If you want our support, we can have the program of product to market, because we know that the big thing, the big barrier or the big wall before they jump into the market is many things. We need special coach, we need something support, or even standard that they have to establish. So testing costs a lot. Many things is money. So supporting program is very important. Or even somebody can sell the product already. The aim of our program is not only in Thailand, but we will make a new area of applying natural rubber into global market. So it will be, continuously incubate, not stop by step and terminate that. Therefore, this program must be continuously support.
So
this one must be send some message to Dr. Mr. Nakon.
Kunakon is willing to support. I think he bring funds to continuously to support this project. Is it right, Kunakon?
Actually, I talked with Dr. Evipu that for in batch 2, actually for the committee or come for in the pitch project, we will in this year we will set up for the seed money, for the big money, for the startup who will pass or how who will the idea is possible. And I also invite for the investor also come to comment on this project also, because the investor actually they got the very good idea in marketing, or they can help you in to the know-how, and they know of the market, what is the can do in the market, or what is the you have to improve that. The one thing is very interesting is the design. The startup is have to come with design, because it can make you very easy in the market. That I think we have to do that in the same way.
I think Dr. Ekvipu, your association with the Kunakon is great. He understands very well, and is not only bringing the RAOT funds, but also supporting bringing the investors from the industry point of view. I think it's a great news. It's a great news. Yeah. Okay. I want to jump to the Kunnathavi. Okay. Kunnathavi, I really admire, man. You're so young, okay, and you have started this company. Can you talk about your company? Evolution and profile of GFIN Rubber Tech, what it is? Okay, let me, yeah, okay, your voice is all right.
Okay, thank you. GFIN Robotics is a manufacturer and distributor of natural latex, natural cutter shoe to treat foot injuries. Our company is located in southern of Thailand, Songkhla. Okay, we are committed to leading innovation and technology and to add value to natural latex, and have become one of the suppliers to bring natural latex come into play in the dairy industry. Cattle food injury effect to decrease the milk product quantity. The problem can be overcome by varying our product that's called Deco. Okay.
So do you want to explain about your presentation first? Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
อาจารย์เอกวิภูอธิบาย presentation ให้หน่อยได้ไหมครับ
Okay, may I give some idea? Natavi come into the startup program, and he has an only idea, at the beginning, that he found some website that they, use the cow shoe for treatment. Then he come up with this idea why we don't make it by natural rubber, and from that idea we incubate them. We make in we give him a lecture about business and so on and so on. Then he come up with the business plan. After that, we support them to make it prototype, and after that, he provide this this prototype to many farms. Then he got some information that the cow chew can increase milk and can treat the cow. Yes, and they get some. He get some information that the cow gave more milk by only natural rubber chew, and is cheaper than the one that made from other material, or even has better durability than the one with made from wood. Okay, I think that's all.
Okay. So let's Kun Nathavi, you are the batch one guy, batch one. What is your experience, benefit that you gain from this program, Natural Rubber Startup Acceleration Program?
Okay, the goal of our company is to provide full range of design, production, and marketing service for our customer both domestically and internationally.
Okay. So you have a good plan. Thank you, Kun Nathavi. Okay, thank you very much. Now I move to Kun Nakorn. So I
Yes.
see that you support this project well, and you already you are actively involved with the Dr. Ekvipu to make this really successful for the industry. What opportunities through you see through this acceleration program?
That what I said before. I think the startup, I think, is a major for drive the new business from today. I think that what I said with Dr. Eviku is our work, in this project. We want to create a program to support the startup, the startup. I think we talk together that we give them a know-how, we give them a technology, we give them to present technique, which is very important from now. Startup, too many startup, they fail when they come to pitch for the project. It's very difficult for pitch, because if you want get someone money and you don't know, or you don't have very good skill for presentation, I think it's impossible, because you are the new thing, you are new idea, no one know that, and no one know you, and no one know who. So I think the pitch or the presentation is very important thing. So that's why I and Dr. Ekvipu, we said that we have to very concentrate or focus on pitch idea or present that. I think it have to give them a chance, or give them a weapon to be, or can get the money from the seed, get the seed money for the investor. I think it's very good. So the other thing, I think the new and the new industrial, or the new world, I think so many things that come from the startup. I think the startup, they come and change the world from now.
So super. So do I expect continue support? Batch 3 now is a batch 2, maybe future batch 3, batch 4, batch 5. What are your future plans? Are you able to keep on supporting this project? Is it right?
Sure. More than support in the batch 3 or batch 4. I think now we work together, and we just right now in my idea, like for the downstream people, one thing that I do it now is I make the environment for the downstream people. I just make it come together and bring for the big project for sharing for the infrastructure. Same also like the um, um, the um, the startup. I think they don't have the environment for them. So I think not just only teach them. I think we can make the environment for them. It's not just teach them. They need some more time and come, and that's what I said. Like they can fail anytime, but they leave the place to after they fail, they come back and give them a power to do it again. I think I'm for the government. That what is the government I have to do that or support them in this environment, and the university also have to support them in the idea that we can work together and we can help them.
Thank you. Dr. Ekripu, I'll back to you about this, your first batch. I think I see you have prepared some products, what were presented or what were included in the batch one. Can you talk about those, what kind of experience on the batch one showing on the screen now? Yeah.
Okay, in batch one, you can see now we have the 3 product launched into the market already. Some maybe preparing on upscaling. You can see the rubber that can make kind of creation, like a bag that you see now. Behind this is a technology. This bag made from devulcanized growth. I mean, normally growth must be rejected into energy consumption or whatever to burn it. That is it. So they use the technology by chemical reaction to make it use again. So together with the creativity, is that to make some design, and it can sell very high price. Actually, it was waste, but now it's on the shelf already, and
Right.
they got the award from the Japan about design. The second one is the cone for my industry. Of course, this is many people might not understand what is it, but I just want to say only a few words. Is it a new product for a new area? My industrial never connected with the natural rubber before, but this thing can help my industry with high productivity, environmental saving. I mean, better reduce a sound or whatever. However, something that we have to concern is about the technology with the right startup as well. Not only technology is good, but if the startup did not run well, the product can go very slow. But some product like Natavi, he come up with idea only 1 or 2 years. Now he come up with the income, and to get this account, I mean the number of account for whole year. Only 3 months he got the target already, because he well planned and he really concentrate to do startup. So the third product is the shoe for the cow. Okay, let's move to other. Okay, this is prototype. Nowadays, the artificial thermoplastic natural rubber is now available, almost available into the market, and it is now transfer technology to some company. They make some licensing already. He has in his hand. Okay, and I think one issue is very important about patch. About patch. We have 2 patch. Is the medical application. They make prototype already, but we cannot sell because regulation is very rigid in Thailand. So the result from the test or from the research was very nice, and they make prototype already. Unfortunately, Thailand do not have the laboratory about this. So if we want to beat FDA, it's not that easy. So this project must be paused, but we do not give up. We will encourage them to make it real. We encourage them to ask the FDA from other country, and then bring the certificate back to Thailand and say, yeah, FDA, we got already a certificate from other country, then allow us to sell. Other thing is the IoT platform about selling, or controlling the quality of the raw material of rubber, let's say rubber sheet or something like that. The third one, please, let's go to the third. Okay, this is still in research. I think something missing, but anyway, this is something fail. I just show you not only the success. These are fail. They are produce. They come up with idea that they want to make the shielding material, flexible shielding material for X-ray or for gamma radiation or something like that. But they cannot make prototype. And the other thing is the life suit that they want to make it by natural rubber. But when they make a prototype, they found that the cost is not fit. Is expensive than the one available in the market. Therefore, they fail fast. So it's that. This is program that we have to accept. But if they have never experienced to do that, they still have an idea. Why don't we do that? And if somebody do it already, make it prototype already, calculation already, it's not fit to the market, then no worry. It's just come up with a new idea. Only that. Okay, let's move to others.
Yeah, so you have improved your batch 2 program based on the experience
Yes.
from the year. So can you elaborate on the what is the components in detail, okay, on the batch 2?
Okay, in batch 2, we divided by 4 programs. The first one is idea to design. We believe that creativity can add value of natural rubber as well. In batch 1, we got a new material called artificial rotten or thermoplastic elastomer that we think this is can provide to the communities, and they can create some new product or new idea by only making handcraft or whatever. So we kind of give them the material and make them to do anything, whatever. Okay. Then the second program is idea to prototype. The main point is many people say, yes, I want to do that, but never experience or never make it tangible before. Therefore, we encourage them to make it real prototype. I mean, bring idea to be prototype. We get them into the program and then coach them how to make prototype. They give a coach. We give some seeding fund for making prototype, and then they go to pitching to face with the committee, that the committee invest with them idea or not after they get the prototype already. So the third program, let's go to the third program. The third and the fourth is almost the same, but the third is product to market, and the fourth will be product to global market. Of course, after they got the product, or even the people from batch 1 want to get into batch 2, they must be registered in product to market because they got product already. But as I mentioned earlier, market is not that easy. They need coach, they need standard, they give them coupon or some funding to make standard or to make something that they not familiar with. For example, they need coach very special. We will pay for the coach and they will get knowledge from coach, something like that. And the last one is product to global market. As you know, is global market is not that easy. You have to make the prototype or product very well or almost final version. Then we all can scale up already. We support to go global market through the Ministry of Commercialization. As you know that we have many commercialization office in many countries. So we will use this connection to launch the product to many countries by this program as well. So the committee of this program, of course, we will have the people from the Ministry of Commercialization.
It's very nice thing, the way you divide into the 4 parts, idea, prototype, product to market, product to global market, so that you mentioned before that you can customize as per the need of the the startups. So somebody has a prototype already, you can help them accelerate that project, and yeah, so it's pretty good.
May I interrupt you a bit?
Sure.
Many people ask us, why don't we provide the program right now? The answer is, we are waiting for you. This is the tailor-made program. Therefore, we need to see who will come into the camp or the program. And then we will design the program with fit to them. Only that.
Yeah. But you can customize for them, tailor-made it, for them, based on the, if so. Whoever has ideas, whoever has the designs, hey, please join with Prince of Songkhla University and in collaboration with RAOT to grow faster, okay, to make your ideas into reality and explore the markets as well. Dr. Ekvipu, I want to touch a little bit about the, you have excellent program. Can you talk about Prince of Songkhla University? What is the research focus? Particularly with reference to the rubber industry.
Yeah, as you know, Prince of Songkhla University, of course, the focus in Prince of Songkhla University is downstream. But nowadays, many people come into Prince of Songkhla University. Maybe some people come to study because of the wording of natural rubber. And if we search into the search engine, like academic engine search, like research, Scopus or Web of Science or whatever, if you search about natural rubber, Prince of Songkhla will come up with the top rank. So many people come into Prince of Songkhla because of this reason. Therefore, if now not the upstream, whole of the tree, that we need to make all part of natural rubber possible as some application. Can you please show the slide? For example, Faculty of Pharmaceutical Science, they try to study this rubber seed to make a cosmetic thing. Or Faculty of Engineer, they focus on wood. Or even part B, the root of natural rubber, the Faculty of Environmental and Management, they focus to study how to make it as energy, and of course the rubber part is very important for us already, that we provide a lot of knowledge about this. And another thing is non-rubber, is we call serum. Nowadays, this is also startup that will come into the program as well. They want to go to global market. Serum can be used as cosmetic thing, or fit fish, or even now they try to establish novel food. If rubber can be food, I cannot imagine if you have human, we still need food. This is very important. Now, I just want to say that we have private sector invest with this technology more than 100 million baht for establish the factory already. But it's still on progress. So the investor is the people who come from another business. They have no experience about rubber before. But when pandemic situation come up, they has a lot of money. They just want to invest something new. And now we got some result that non-rubber part can be used as the medicine. However, as I mentioned earlier, if we want to use this for medical application, it must be do many steps. So cosmetic will be the first priority. Okay, let's move to other slide. Yeah, if we talk about research, now we are trying to explain people that research is not product. Research is some technology, and technology can be everything. For example, if you want to do something, you just come up with idea and tell us we have technology. If the people, if the researchers say they making something or making some product, of course that product does not fit to the market because they never experienced with the market before. Therefore, if you talking about research, everybody must be see into the detail. What is it inside? For example, as I mentioned earlier, non-rubber part, what is the key or core concept of that? We got some ingredient. That ingredient is very important for healing the skin, for healing some cell. You can make cosmetic, you can make food, you can make feed, or you can make medicine. Only that. Or even you see rubber technology, devulcanization, as I mentioned earlier, growth must be reject. Some of growth must be reject, and that is a waste of our world. Devulcanization is the technology that can recycle the reject product to be used again. And what is the product? It can be everything. I mentioned earlier, it was some creativity by making bag, for example. Another thing is Prince of Songkhla University, we are trying to make a new value approach that I mentioned earlier. We are trying to find a new area of using natural rubber that has never applied before. For example, medical application. Now we got already the device for the people who has colon cancer. It will be launched into the market not so long time. I think they fight about standard for 5 years already. They got the machine already, but get into the market, they need to fight to get some certificate, and now they got already, but it take some marketing cost as well after this. Natural rubber can use in also an engineering part or even agricultural product, or we are trying to make natural rubber apply in food industry as well. For example, food contact material, normally we use plastic. The question is, why don't we use natural rubber? The technology we have already, but and we prove already that there is no any ingredient migrate into the food. The question is how to make it reality. This is I would like to say, now we have a knowledge of natural rubber a lot, and waiting for everybody to come into library, say Prince of Songkhla University, to pick up and bring it real.
I can see that Prince of Songkhla University is the real knowledge bank with various innovations. I think it's a matter of time that I think the industry should utilize it. Yeah. So thank you, Dr. Ekwipu, to sharing your the things happening on the research point of view. Can you a little bit talk about the educational programs? Research is one side, but you also have to empower the skill development. Can you talk about what kind of education programs at Prince of Songkhla University?
Okay, we have a curriculum that contain the Bachelor of Rubber Technology, and also rubber engineering. And we have master program from rubber technology and polymer science, and PhD student from curriculum as well. And nowadays, many people asking for non-degree because the people from company or factory need to learn something or learn some technology. Only that, only some part. Therefore, we are trying. But let's say trying to make a tailor-made program. Of course, it takes time because we have no experience this before. We are trying to make it. And the last one is the incubation program that we are doing. So if you want to learn or get well educated about natural rubber, about upstream, midstream, downstream, we have many curriculum, also non-degree. Please contact us. And incubation program, we join with RF to OT.
Super. Okay, and so anyway, and I would like to say that Technobiz can also work with the Prince of Songkhla University in terms of educational, non-degree. We don't work on, we look at specific, so we can explore on that. Well, Kunnathavi, I think I take the help of Dr. Ekwipu. I will ask the question in English. Kunnathavi can say in answer in Thai. It's very easy to him. Yeah, okay. I'd like to ask about what is his advice, for the new batch 2 participants to benefit most out of the this acceleration program. You can explain in Thai first, and Dr. Ekwipu can answer in explain, share, and translate it. Yeah, okay. Okay, just a second. Yeah. Yeah.
ในมุมมองผมที่เคยได้รับทุนสนับสนุนมาครับสิ่งสำคัญที่สุดเลยก็คือการค้นหาที่ปัญหาที่แท้จริงของลูกค้าว่ามันเป็นปัญหาจริงๆหรือเปล่านั่นก็คือการวอลิเดตกลุ่มลูกค้าเพื่อค้นหากลุ่มลูกค้ากลุ่มแรกให้เจอเพราะนั้นก็สิ่งที่จะฝากก็คือเราพอคิดไอเดียแล้วไอเดียของสตาร์ทอัพจะฟุ้งครับก็คือมีเยอะแยะมากมายเลยแต่ว่าการที่จะทำตบให้กลายมาเป็นหนึ่งเดียวกันได้คือการวอลิเดตอันนี้คือประเด็นแรกที่น้องๆรุ่นถัดไปจะต้องทำครับ
Dr. Ekwipu, yeah.
Yeah, the startup. The problem of the startup is the idea is many ways, you know. So they have to find really unmet need of the customer. So the market validation is very important. So if you get fund, the first thing that you have to do is to find the market, and then you know, as I mentioned earlier, if you did not give them chance, they never find the market because it's just only idea. So I do agree that Natalie said the first thing that we need to do is to make a market validation. An important thing is first dollar, because the people, you know, when they get prototype, they think of how much and how to position the product. The first thing is to just make it a first dollar, and then you will know the solution of everything.
Okay.
You can fail from first dollar as well.
ในส่วนต่อมาครับเมื่อเราค้นหาลูกค้าที่แท้จริงได้แล้วครับมันจะทำให้เราประหยัดเงินก้อนแรกซึ่งสตาร์ทอัพในการทำช่วงแรกครับมันมีเงินน้อยอยู่แล้วแต่ถ้าเราหาลูกค้าที่แท้จริงได้การที่จะทำโปรโตไทป์ออกไปทดสอบครับมันจะทำให้เราใช้เงินก้อนนั้นนะครับคุ้มค่าที่สุดแล้วก็เกิดประโยชน์สูงสุดส่วนต่อมาสิ่งที่สำคัญก็คือการบริหารจัดการไทม์ไลน์เพราะว่าทุกโครงการจะต้องมี KPI ในการปิดที่เราต้องวางแผนทั้งระบบให้ได้ในระยะเวลาที่จำกัดนะครับว่าเราจะต้องทำอะไร1 2 3แล้วก็ส่วนถัดมานั่นคือระบบของทีมที่จะต้องจัดการให้เป็นระบบตั้งแต่เริ่มต้นเพราะว่าเวลาองค์กรโตไปครับทำให้บริษัทเจ๊งหรือไม่เจ๊งก็อยู่ที่ทีมเนี่ยครับว่าทีมจะไปกันต่อได้หรือเปล่า
Excellent.
Okay, the important thing is the limitation of time and money. So the management of the time and money is very important. Not only that, but team as well, because the team must have good agreement about the timeline and investment. I think I do agree again that if you limit the time, like this program, we try to accelerate them by making program and make limitation, fail fast, fail often. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Kun Natavi. So one, Kun Natavi, what kind of support you still need to expand your business?
Okay. คือเมื่อเราได้สินค้าแล้วนะครับสิ่งที่การซัพพอร์ตนั่นก็คือการออกสู่ตลาดที่แท้จริงหลังจากที่เราทดสอบไปแล้วครับทีนี้ครับมันก็คือการหาลูกค้าจริงๆแต่ว่าถ้าเราทำก่อนหน้านี้ได้ดีครับส่วนซัพพอร์ตนะครับเราจะทำได้มากขึ้นแทนที่เราจะไปพึ่งกับองค์กรหลายๆองค์กรแต่คิดว่าสตาร์ทอัพส่วนใหญ่น่าจะอ่อนเรื่องมาร์เก็ตติ้งกันเป็นส่วนใหญ่เราจะเก่งด้านนวัตกรรมทีนี้ครับการหาทีมในส่วนหนึ่งการมีทีมที่เป็นมาร์เก็ตติ้งอยู่ในนั้นนะครับจะเป็นส่วนที่จะทำให้องค์กรอื่นๆนะครับสามารถเอาเงินมาให้เราแบบมั่นใจว่าเราสามารถโตต่อไปได้แล้วก็การอบรมหรือการจัดกิจกรรมโปรแกรมต่างๆก็สามารถช่วยซัพพอร์ตให้กับสตาร์ทอัพสามารถอยู่รอดได้
So I surprised the keyword of survive. You know, startup. Startup.
Okay.
You can see many people fail and not survive, but if they jump from the valley of death, you know, it's like fantastic. The first thing that Natalie mentioned that we need to find real market, and of course, real market will bring you to the real thing, the reality. So many people happy with funding or seeding fund from government or everything, but actually real market is very important. So the first seeding fund must be spent with something to find a real market.
Thank you, Kun Natavi. So we move to the last part of this panel discussion. Okay, Kun Nakon, we'd like to talk about future. I thought you already addressed a little bit about it. Maybe summarize it in such a way. What is the future of Thailand rubber industry? What opportunities and to explore and to grow. Yeah.
Actually, right now, I have the project to prepare. I call the Rubber Innovation Hub at the Nakhon Si Thammarat province.
Oh.
This project come to facilitate the future investment in the rubber industrial factory or manufacturing industrial. So I think we can educate or make the manpower or make the know-how for the people who want to interested to in the rubber industry. From that, we have the show. We want to make a showcase for the plantation for sustainable. We want to make the industrial for the factory, and that's what I said. Actually, I just want to make the environment for the every people for the rubber industrial, such as including the startup also. Thank you.
Fantastic. Wow, that's nice. That we need to know that Thailand Innovation Hub in Nakhon Si Thammarat is excellent. It's going to be good for everyone. Good for particularly in Nakhon Si Thammarat is also a rubber producing province. Yeah. So, Dr. Ekavipu,
Yes.
I know you are a researcher and you really promote on the startups. So what is your vision for the PSU, in terms of natural rubber industry as a researcher?
Before go to the last question, I just want to say something about startup. Startup is like a small boat that Thailand is a big ship. Startup is like buying a land. You have to support the boat, small boat, because small boat will maybe find a land, but big ship cannot go to find a land sometime when something happen. If you go into the big sea, this is boat can fail, but you have to support and to encourage them to do it again. This is very important. We must be built small boat, many boat to find a good land. If we find a good land, big ship will go through or will go follow the small boat, the one with get into the good land. I just want to say this. And now we are in the creativity era. In the past, we was in the industrial era that many people think of only beating competitors, only doing some high productivity, high cost saving. But what they do, they just get or earn only small benefit to produce a lot of things. So don't think about environmental issue is consume a lot. So if we talk about startup, it's like what to say, creativity era. We say less but more. We do only small thing, but very high impact. So this is very important for this program. I think important to support. Okay, let's go to the slide that I just want to say about our research. The vision of the research, as I mentioned at the beginning, that the people frame university that thing untouchable on shelf. And actually, we are in the area that, what to say, the people, the communication can survive. We say can survive by the productivity of natural rubber. So I think now we are in the past, if we talk about natural rubber, as I mentioned earlier, if you search into the search engine of research engine, search whatever, you can see Prince of Songkla University reputation in academic, in global level. But to answer the question of the people, what is Prince of Songkla University are doing? We are trying to lift up the position of academic, global academic reputation to be the university that bring the global knowledge research to be realistic, to be commercialization. Let's go to see next slide. Okay, this is the position that we are going to change, but not change, to move or to plus, that we will shift from the A point to B point, and then we will provide some knowledge to be to a local people and also to the global industry. Let's go to the next slide. This is the position that we are going to do. For the research, we will bring the local material, let's say bio-based polymer, through rubber research and innovation, through the BCG economy campaign to global market. We are trying to make knowledge to be innovative. This is the product or service and commercialization position that we are going to change by using the knowledge from research. Then the last but not least, I think next slide is very important why we are together. Please go to the next slide. Yes, this is triple helix that in the past, when we talk about PPP, is a private what to say. This is very important of the triple helix, that the people from university must be work together with the government and industry. In the past, the university just say why we have to work with government and industry, because they are in the safe zone. Now for PSU system, now we encourage people to work together with industry. We encourage people to find opportunity from them research with government, and this is triple helix that everyone must be bring the knowledge from university to be a realistic. I think startup is very important for the system, that now many big companies do not want to invest something untouchable like a smart material, but maybe some startup will build some prototype, and of course soft robot will come, of course technology disruption will come, like EV vehicle, that they need flexible sensor, maybe it's need in the future. So startup will be something that important for our country, for natural rubber as well.
Thank you, Dr. Ekvipul. Kunnatavi, I have one final point to ask you. You can speak in Thai, okay? The point is, see, you rightly mentioned about money. Okay, what are the funding opportunities for startups? Okay, you know, in your point of view. Okay, yeah, please. Okay, just give me a second. Okay. Can you unmute yourself, please?
Okay. ผมคิดว่าสตาร์ทอัพในปัจจุบันนะครับถ้าสมมติไอเดียคมแล้วครับจะมีหลายๆ องค์กรมาซัพพอร์ตในช่วงแรกอย่างเช่นการยางแห่งประเทศไทยหรือว่าเป็นสำนักงานนวัตกรรมแห่งชาติซึ่งทางบริษัทก็ได้รับการสนับสนุนจากทั้ง2ภาคส่วนหรือว่าอุทยานวิทยาศาสตร์นะครับ3ภาคส่วนที่ผลักดันสตาร์ทอัพเพราะว่าณปัจจุบันในไทยครับสตาร์ทอัพมีโอกาสเกิดขึ้นใหม่ๆเยอะไม่เหมือนกับเมื่อก่อนที่ทำให้สตาร์ทอัพล้มแล้วยังสามารถลุกขึ้นได้เร็วถ้าเป็นเมื่อก่อนล้มแล้วก็น่าจะหายไปเลยมันทำให้เป็นโอกาสที่ดีในการลงทุนและเมื่อไอเดียเราคมครับเราสามารถเติบโตได้เพราะเรามีทั้งนักลงทุนเริ่มต้นก็คือองค์กรอย่างเช่นกยทสำนักงานนวัตกรรมแห่งชาติพอเรามีรายได้เติบโตขึ้นมาเราสามารถลงทุนมีนักลงทุนระดับโคเปอเรทหรือว่าอยู่ในซีรีส์ A ได้ครับต่อไป
So he got the financial support from highlight it in the beginning, only beginning. So the real market must be fine. From NIA, from IAOT and SciSport. So this is the financial support. And he said that the financial support nowadays for startup is pretty not too difficult, but okay, it's many opportunity to find that fund. May I give some detail about Natavi? Actually, he graduated from Faculty of Engineering, and he got a job from the the holding company, very high salary. And he come to me and say, I want to be a startup company. I say, hey, are you sure? Are you how the parent think about this? He say, I don't care, but I just want to make it. Only at the beginning, he say he tried to stay in startup company only 1 year and then maybe go to the other thing. But nowadays he is still in startup. That means he is in a good way. And he asked me why I has the motivation to make startup. I just answer very easy that when I was young, when I was in his age, this is the thing what I am looking for. So you can see why I have motivation to do startup, because if I born in this situation, I will be startup as well.
Super.
Okay.
Nathavi, we wish you the best. I want you to be more successful. I think with the support of the RAOT and also Dr. Ekvipu, I'm sure that you make steps forward and make that GFIN Rubber Tech a very successful company very soon. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we are about to end this panel discussion. Okay, actually, I really enjoyed the whole, learned a lot. I think Dr. Ekvipu, is your education in Germany help you motivate yourself also? Is it? Can you talk about your education? Maybe one final point. Yeah, you did a PhD in Germany. Is it correct? Right?
Can you please come again? In Germany or what?
You did your PhD in Germany. Is your education in your Germany helped you with the way to think in terms of particularly in startup things? Yeah.
Okay, this is a good question before end the session. Normally, I see the pattern of researcher in Thailand a lot, and of course, I have a lot of teacher or lecturer that I am an alumni, and we see the career part of the occupation. We can stay stable, as a researcher or instructor in university. But motivation, I just want to say here that I have experience in Germany, and of course I have to mention to Professor Finneman that what he bring me to the real situation. I have many questions in Thailand all the time. Why we have to do research? And I got the answer when I was in Germany that many people need value of research, but we have to show the core value, not only to show only some product, as I mentioned earlier. You can see Thai industry come into the lab and try to study something in detail, only some part, but that is the key thing that they will have unfair advantage for other company. Research is very important. From that point, I got some idea that if I get back to Thailand, I will not be the same researcher in Thailand. I have to encourage people. I know already that research is value. Very high value, but the people that if you make like flagship, we need many of soldiers to work together. Therefore, the first thing that we are making is now we are making a humanware that I am now a middle of age that we are in university. At the beginning, it's pretty difficult to encourage, the teacher, let's say the teacher, to make something different. But now from lower age, for me, I encourage them to do something like me, or I am trying to make the alumni with not only in the curriculum, but also in the startup system. That Natavi actually in faculty of engineering, but I can say he is my alumni already because I am teaching in faculty of science, but this program can make something that we can have an alumni. That alumni can go to find that I mentioned earlier, to find a new land for our country. I think this question is very good. Is come up with something inside.
Yes. Thank you. I really, it's a nice way of putting your experience in Germany, your understand your needs in Thailand. I think perfect combination, and I think it brought this startup acceleration project. You said army. Probably I'm hoping to see batch 1, batch 2, or future batches. You got army of startups in the rubber industry. Man, you did fantastic, Dr. Ekwipu. I'm really glad that today we had this program. I'm discussing about startups in the rubber industry and particularly about accelerating it. That is very, very important. Okay, I'd like to end this program, but before we go, any final remarks, Dr. Nakon Krap? Any final remarks? Encouraging the students, encouraging researchers, encouraging universities, and encouraging industry. Any final remarks, please? Yeah.
Thank you. I just want to say to the rubber startup, if you don't have the possible project, if you have an idea, don't give up. We will support you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nakon. Dr. Ekwipu, any final remarks?
Kunakon give very sharp, sentence, and I just want to say, if you want to do anything about natural rubber, just come and talk, trust, and team. T. If we talk, we trust, and we make a team, we will find some solution. And this is my end word.
3T. Yeah. Talk, yes. Trust, and team.
Yes. Now we have team of organization already. That Kunakon very good for this.
Yes. Okay, Kun Natavi, final. any points you want to say? You can say in Thai language. I will ask again Dr. Yaku to translate for you. Yeah. Okay.
โอเคครับก็จริงๆเหมาก็ได้รับการสนับสนุนจากทางกยทครับแล้วก็เชื่อว่าอนาคตแล้วก็ในปัจจุบันก็น่าจะได้ร่วมงานกันจะมีโปรเจกต์ใหม่ๆออกมาที่จะได้ทำงานร่วมกันกับทางกยทและมหาวิทยาลัยสงขลานครินทร์ครับ
Okay, thank you for supporting from IAOT and Prince of Songkla University for helping everything.
Okay, we about to end this program. I thank you, all three panelists. One Kunnakon from the government authority on the rubber industry, Dr. Ekwipu. You can see the energy level. He's a researcher. He really promote the startups. It's fantastic. And also Kunnatavi, young man. He really drive into it. We want to see more young people like this into the rubber industry to build products for the country, Thailand, of course, for the global market. So thank you all. Sawadee-krap. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you.
ขอบคุณครับ
Guys, that's the end of this panel discussion on the innovative natural rubber products development in Thailand by startup acceleration. I'm hoping that you find it useful. Okay. And this is really, you see the issues happening with Prince of Songkla University, one of the prestigious universities in Thailand, who focus on the natural rubber. Their contribution to the rubber industry is immense, and you can see with this startup acceleration project, they're really putting in great efforts for the younger generation, to involve and develop the products that what country requires. So it's a great thing. So I'm hoping that you find it useful. If you wanted to watch this whole event again, you can always check our YouTube and the Technobi channel. Check it out. Any other assistance you need from Technobase, you can reach it to me. I think most of you have my contact information. Okay, and I hope to see you in the next episode of the Rubber Industry NewsHour. Thank you all for joining this session today.